Hello everybody, my name is Anthnwam. Welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich as the Kingdom of France. Let's continue on from where we last left off. So, it's currently 1937. We are just trying to finish up all of our focuses here. Because we want to get our way down to getting our organization debuff as soon as possible. Because if we get it, like, early enough, it won't really affect us when we're actually fighting the Internationale. At least that's my hope. You want me to go to war upon him on the Princely Federation? We're already at war with Princely Federation. I mean, we might as well go to war with Panama as well. I mean, we don't really lose anything. There's another attack controlled in Niger. How is resistance actually looking? I mean, it's ticking down in Chad. In Niger, it's going up a little bit, but the base target's only 56%, which isn't, like, so bad. Because, again, I think it's 80%. When they rise up, it said that somewhere. But it's about 80%. There's been a wave of sabotage. How dare you? The wave of sabotage. Without any previous notice, a large wave of violent strikes started in some of our industrial bases. Those strikes are different than what we are used to. They've only done a small part of the workers. They don't seem to have any clear motive. Factory bosses throughout the country only woke up to find an occupied factory and to a lot of equipment smashed. In other factories, the workers were occupying the factory, but a large part of the machinery was still found damaged or destroyed. Repressing the strikes and arresting the participants wasn't too difficult, but it seems that to be a shot in the dark, as those incidents were clearly masterminded from somewhere else. So how much damage did you guys do? That's a lot of damage! Thank you very much, Communards. Syndicalists form a rebellion in Mali. Resistance target plus 40% is actually, like, quite high. Traitors everywhere. I mean, in Mali... That's Volta. Do you now cap? You cap at 95%. You cap at 72. But the average, I think, from that can reach 80, which might prove to be a problem. The Seto Guino commemorations. On June 7th, 1919, riots broke out in Vadia, capital of the then British Crown colony of Malta. Tensions with the British authorities had brewed for some time, with a heavy burden of the Village Creek on the Fortress Island, as well as rising food prices. Proved too much for thousands who ransacked locations associated with the British. When they attempted to force entry into the government building, soldiers opened fire, the crowd dispersed, and 4 lay dead. Ever since that grim day has been commemorated by the Maltese. As the British Revolution came to a close in 1926, local authorities became increasingly nervous for the future of Malta. With mutiny, nationalist, and social agitation, or occupation by another power seeing increasingly real threats, the Germans being already in the process of sieging much of the empire, would certainly not pass up the opportunity to spread their influence in the Mediterranean. As such, the governor, Sir Walter Norris Congreve, calls on us to secure the islands for the Entente, and the French Marine Infantry obliged. Malta was granted much autonomy in dealing with day-to-day matters, officially still part of the British Empire, but now effectively a French protectorate. A state of affairs susceptible to both small British elite content with maintaining their power, and nationalists now enjoying something approaching home rule. As such, the Set Guano was made an official holiday of remembrance and time for unity. Though no longer the headquarters of the Mediterranean Fleet, the island is still the lock of the Strait of Sicily, the bastion of assuring Entente dominance over the Western Mediterranean. A large garrison is maintained on the island, much was invested to expand the defensive ports of the islands, reflecting its critical role in our naval strategy. Do we actually have a strong, like, fort there? We have a level 2 fort, which I guess isn't so bad, but as you may notice, I don't have any troops actually there. Okay, and Algeria is now, not Algeria, Argentina is now at war. Do you guys have, like, do we back anybody? I don't actually know. I mean, I could send volunteers. I cannot yet. Once again, we're at war. We can't do that. But our war with you, like, I was thinking about just sending troops over. I mean, we already are sending troops over. How many men are we sending? We've already sent our full 16 stack, huh? It's been a few days since I last recorded an episode, so I'm not 100% caught up to where I was myself in this. Could get some more propaganda. We go 110 political power, which to me seems like we should be going up towards early mobilization and then partial mobilization. Both those seem pretty good. There have been syndicalist revolutionaries in Switzerland. And we're getting attacked even more in Guyana. Which is you. What's you rest? You're resting at 41%. Honestly, it's not so bad. Rise in sensitivity in Chad. Please stop. I'm begging you. On the 11th of May, 1745, near Fontaine, French forces personally led by King Louis XV and his son, the Dauphin, faced the armies of the British-led coalition. Outnumbered and initially suffering heavy casualties, the royal army prevailed thanks to its iron will, winning for the king a decisive victory. One force in particular illustrated itself, facing the British Coldstream Guards, sending an elite force into a frenzied retreat, even seizing their banner, the 6th Regiment of the Irish Brigade. These brave exiled Jackman Irishmen served France for generations, never letting go of their hope to one day see a free Ireland, fighting for a king against the treachery of the English. Their dreams had now come true. Ireland is free, and as such, being our closest allies, will not stop us from commemorating Irish blood shed for France and the unbreakable bond uniting our two nations. Royal representatives traveled to Dublin to participate in a ceremony honoring the Irish Brigade on the day of their triumph at Anthnwam, where a monument funded by donations of French and Irish integralists were unveiled, and enthusiastic speeches in approximately Irish on our part, approximately French on theirs, were warmly received by a large crowd. The ceremony over, intense discussion took place between representatives of the Na Hoshli party and our envoys on a variety of topics, such as the translation of works of Charles Maurras into the Irish language, our ongoing process of counter-revolution, as well as further funding for their movement, as they claim will soon be fair position to seize power. Looking positively starstruck, these determined young men assured us that Ireland will once again stand with France to help achieve our dream of freeing our homeland against both communards and the Boches. Okay, thank you, Ireland. I don't think you have any actual updates, so I don't know if there's anything you can actually do to... Actually, no, this is a different tree. When did Ireland actually get a reworking? I actually don't know. Because it's definitely different than when we played Ireland. That is for sure. So we'll see if kind of Ireland joins the Entente. Could be useful as a launching operation into Britain, of course. To the point where, like, maybe even attacking France first is not the best option. Which actually I usually think that it typically is not. Usually attacking Britain or Italy first tends to go a little bit better. Also, who's justifying a war against us? Who could it be, actually? I'm trying to think. I'm not going to even look at it. I'm actually just curious. It's not Middle Africa. Actually, I don't know. Who could it be? Hardy Commune. You know what? Actually, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so the French army has arrived. It still looks like there's nobody actually in Bombay. So we can definitely land, get a foothold here. Portugal does have some troops down here, but they're not in the Entente. Let's send 25 political power into the IEDC. It's going to set us at -3%, but that's not so bad. And Belgium joined the 3rd International. Interesting. Okay, that definitely changes things up for us. Also, yeah, if the Australians actually just landed down here, we'll just send our units down here as well. Naval engineers, construction, or consumer goods go down by 2%. Do I need rifles? I don't. So you know what? We only have one civilian factory doing anything. So you know what? We'll go for assist our economies. Thank you very much. Look, guys, you're already in a port province. Aren't you? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Just go here, please. Go down to Bombay. Your job, basically, I think it's just going to spearhead your way towards Hyperbad. You guys do worry me as well. I don't know if we have really naval superiority here. We don't. But if we can kill you, make our front line a little bit bigger, that would be nice. Okay, our forces are going to land. Very soon. Okay, we've actually landed. Down with Marianne. Marianne was a perfect symbol for the Republic. Vulgar, denude, looking like little more than a prostitute or a beggar. She embodied the mediocrity of the Republic regime. Chosen under the short-lived Second Republic, her representation became systematic under the Third, appearing in public buildings, statues, stamp, all things related to the state. But now freed from the Republican shackles, France shall no longer be represented by a mere peasant. No longer is our people drinking the rotten milk from the diseased Republican teat. Busts and town halls have been taken down, statues brought down and destroyed by cheering Camelots. Instead, we built symbols of a true France, such as statues of King Saint Louis and Saint Joan of Arc, or representations of the royal lilies and the Gallic rooster. As for the official personification of our nation, we simply have to look for the past for inspiration. France has traditionally been represented by a woman in a blue cloak with golden fleur-de-lis, armed and brandishing the royal hand of justice, often wearing a golden crown or helmet, sometimes armored. A much more fitting symbol for a reborn kingdom. Get a little bit more political power from that, thank you. And we're trying to think, like, if we can lower the amount of troops on this front. You guys, basically, I think you're just going to come, kind of just, like, move down south, take these cities. We should be able to defend most of this territory. We have air superiority. We don't, unfortunately. And the Syndicalists are probably going to try to invade us at some point soon, which might also prove to be an issue, but we'll see. You guys have low organization. You don't. Have you kind of fall back? My plan hasn't gone as well as I would have liked it to be honest. Also, I don't know why my units don't go to this province. Oh yeah, because I have my own spearhead, right. I always forget that spearhead kind of screws up my front lines here. So yeah, you do this. You're still fighting your way down the south, so we kind of want to win a little as early as possible. News from Corsica. This morning, a war memorial containing soil from the mainland was inaugurated on the beach near Ajaccio. That's not how you say that. It was dedicated to tens of thousands of Corsicans who gave their lives to France during the Ville Creek and the subsequent civil war. Since the revolution, the island has been an incredibly important background for us. Indeed, it is so close to the from the commune that shores can be seen on the clear day, while Red Italy is less than 40 kilometers away. As such, it has become a focal point for the Mediterranean strategy of the Entente, having quickly been transformed into a major naval airbase, from which our ships patrol as close as possible to the mainland, which tends face off with international ships occurring every other week. Any liberation effort would have to start here, as much of the intelligence and reconnaissance work done in France and Italy is coordinated from Bestia and Ajaccio. It is also there the first waves of exiles landed, and though most moved on to Algeria, many stayed, creating a population and economic boost that paired with the military buildup has rejuvenated the island, despite potential tension as war looms. Though there is no longer a stream of refugees like there were in the early days of the commune, there is still a consistent trickle of dissidents making their way to our shores, each given a hero's welcome but carefully interrogated. Finally, organized crime, already an issue before the war, has become a mainstay on the island life. Many destitute veterans and refugees turn to crime. The presence of so many soldiers made gambling and prostitution a booming business, and the Corsican mafia, under the leadership of men like Paul the Emperor Cambone, made himself a veteran, further thrives on the smuggling of goods and people in and out of the metropole. The authorities, however, turn a blind eye to this, as the mafia has proved to be an incredibly useful network of informants within the commune, all while attending the basier needs of infantrymen and officers alike. Oh, 1,500 manpower, thank you. I'll take it. I think we need to like just have like a full... Actually, no, we can't... No, you push here, you push here. We want to see if we can get troops into this location. Follow that immediately with having this truck drive our way down towards Hyperbad. And the Spanish Civil War has begun. Again, really all we care about the CNT loses. Carlos Spain winning, of course, is the best case for us because they will join the Entente. But as we are currently in a war, our options are limited, to say the least. Okay, so you guys are moving your way down to over here. You've basically have accomplished your goal of letting these guys get through, so I'm not worried about that. Have you guys try to make some movements into there. I mean, you guys are looking relatively weak. Is this a free province? I think it is. It's a little bit hard to tell. And you move over here, try to defend this province. You got better artillery pieces, thank you very much. I'm really just trying to spread the Princely Federation out as thin as we possibly can. What do we... Okay, so it's 1937. Do we have any focuses we can do? Yes. We could get trench warfare for only 58 days. I think I've been coming down with trench warfare. I think it's actually pretty good for us. Panama's capitulated. Okay, I guess that'll just go to Canada, I think. Like, I don't see... I mean, Costa Rica, I guess they fought as well. Costa Rica, can have that territory. Do they have any more claims? No, I guess not. Then, okay. It is what it is. Okay, so you've reached here. Where are you going next? I mean, if we take Hyderabad, is that enough for them to capitulate? I think it actually might be. I want to get this done. If I support you, what do I lose? 3,000 manpower, 1,500 equipment. Yes, we will support the car list. And, of course, the Party Communists now declared war on the Dominion of India, which is scary for us. More stability for slower construction speed. You know what? We only have... You're also 10% stability, and you give more political power gains, so we'll go with you first. But I think both of those could be useful in the future. Because you don't have that many troops to guard against the Party Commune, which is worrying for us like a great deal. We'll go for you because you're cheap. I'm not going to join the war against the Party Commune quite yet. At some point, of course, I will. We want you to... I mean, we just want to go to Hyderabad because there's more 10 victory points. I mean, you're worth 1. Bangalore doesn't actually count here. You're worth 1. You're worth 1. Yeah, no, actually, I think just taking Hyderabad will be enough for us to win the war. So we can take that city. Still want you to march... Yeah, just retreat down south. You know, okay, what if you would fall back? And... No. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. You guys hold position. One of you needs to go here. Oh, you've actually just left. Okay, well, that makes my job easier then. Yeah, you need to get to Hyderabad, please, and thank you. You need attack. Next, are you coming into this province? You might be, which scares me. Yeah, so if we want to stop you from going to Hyderabad, because let me just see. Because right now they are at 65%. This is where 10. 1. 1. 1. 1. So they have 14 points total. 10 of them are in Hyderabad. So I think based just on that, like, you kind of need the city. Please let me go to Hyderabad. Please just let me into your city. Okay, New York City's fallen. Unfortunately, they immediately they got to the city, which sucks. And there's one city here. I don't know if I forgot about that in my calculations. A burnt out village. One of our armored cars. One of our armored car patrols in eastern Mauritania has stumbled across what remains of a smoldering village. A few panicked survivors first tried to hide from our unit, but after one of our native soldiers took off his cap and set aside his rifle, one of the survivors managed to get over his fear and tell a horrible story about the counter riders to the east who swarmed in to take prisoners off as slaves. Sure, you know, let's try to capture them. Do you have a fort in higher? You don't have a fortress. Let me capture the caravan. Thank you. Compliance of Mauritania and the desert's gone up. A little bit more stability, a little bit of political power. Thank you very much. Okay, Washington, D.C.'s fallen. There's more activity kind of going on everywhere. I just want to see. I just want Hyderabad, right? How many troops does the Dominion of India have? They have 22 divisions right now, which really is not a ton. Like, we need to take this city, and we need to take Hyderabad, and probably these two cities here as well. Louise Berlotte dies. Louise Berlotte, Born in 1872, engineer, inventor, and pioneer of French aviation, has died of cardiac arrest in Algiers villa at only 64 years old. Fascinated by the idea of flying, inspired by prototypes of French engineer Clement Adir, and the success of the Wright brothers, Blériot put the province's automobile part business towards the creation of flying machines, first encountering so many failures that the press derisively named him the King of Crashing. He eventually achieved worldwide fame and recognition for being the first to cross the channel in an airplane in 1909 in only 37 minutes. A living legend of aviation, even being attributed to the first pilot's license, he created a successful firm building his ever-improving designs. With the Great War, he specialized in light reconnaissance planes, his company producing evidently more than 10,000 planes for the French army. At the outbreak of the revolution, Blériot fled to Algiers, like so many others, successfully re-implemented his business. The Marshal encouraged research and development in any field that could potentially help with the coming war effort, eventually running as a candidate for the Parti Radical. Following his death, the government has put a statement honoring his contribution in the field of aviation and to the war effort, as well as to his resilience facing his early setbacks, calling him an example to all Frenchmen in these difficult times. The creation of the Louis Blériot Medal to be awarded to record settlers in speed, altitude, and distance in light aircraft was also announced. Okay, but I think with that, it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thank you everyone for watching. My name is Anthnwam. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not enjoying, click thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.